Hello, creative friends. I've got a little bit of light here in the garage today, and it's not too cold. Hope everyone's having a wonderful holiday week. Um, we Today I just want to talk about getting a focus on the laser. Again, I am no expert whatsoever. I've just had this about a month and a half and just experimenting and putting these videos out this to hopefully it will help you. But I do want to give a huge shout out to the Facebook groups. There are a lot of laser Facebook groups out there, and I'm so glad there are some very good Facebook groups specific for these Neje lasers. So if you're not already a member, I would highly recommend that. Very supportive group, very helpful. Lots of people will jump in with questions, and then there's a handful of those groups that are run by a lady that's based here in the United States, and she also sells these lasers and laser blanks, all kinds of things that we can engrave on. So I'm going to put some links down below if you're interested, and definitely check that out. But the Facebook groups have the true Neje masters in them, so all kinds of questions being answered out there. There's been a lot of discussion that I've seen about focus, and honestly, I don't have the true answer. Whenever I put mine together, honestly, I didn't really put a whole lot of thought into this, the positioning for the actual laser module. And it's on a slider, so it will go up and down, but you need your Allen wrenches that came with it to be able to loosen that, and then you can slide it up and down. And honestly, for the whole month and a half, mine has stayed in the same position, which is actually pretty high. Now from the actual bed of my table, it's right at about 2 inches to the base, and then so millimeters. I think they say 30 to 50 milliliters, millimeters. I'm sorry, millimeters. 30 to 50 millimeters, and so mine is right at about 50. Now, of course, I'll have something on there to cut or engrave, and so it's between that 30 and 50. And I think honestly, the main thing is just to be able to get this in a pinpoint as best as possible. And I tell you, I do have some trouble dialing this in. This protective faceplate. Now, I've heard people do take this off, and that way they can get in there and turn that dial better. But I don't want to remove this. This is a nice safety feature. It blocks a lot of the laser light, and so there is this tiny little window where you can move the laser left and right, and then that dot turns into a line. And usually I have fingernails where I can just reach in there and turn that dial either to the left or the right. I'm sure you could use like a old credit card or something. If you cut it up, you could probably use that to push on the sides of that dial, perhaps. I just worry about kind of pushing it around in there, so I try not to do it too often. But you can move that left and right, and then this will zero in a little bit better. I'm just going to try to play with it a little bit here, and I don't know if you can tell, it's getting a bigger dot. It will eventually, let's see, maybe I'll take it the other way. I didn't get it really out of focus. Yeah. And I guess really my only tip to share is to use some black paper. I've got some black cardstock that I use, and I will lay that down, and that allows me to see. Yeah, see that no longer looks like a pinpoint to me. I don't know how well that's going to capture on video, but it's no longer to the pinpoint. And so black cardstock has really helped me. I've got older eyes and wear bifocal contacts, so usually I will close one eye and try to squint, and it doesn't work so well, but this black cardstock works pretty well. And then I can play with this and and get it zeroed in on the dot. And of course you would want to do that on top of whatever material you're going to engrave and cut. And of course, according to the Neje wiki wikis. If you're engraving, then you want to focus on the top layer of the item, but if you're going to cut, you want to focus a little bit into the material distance, and that's something I haven't ever thought about or tried yet, so I may play around with that. But I have finally come back to working with cardboard. The very first time I worked with cardboard, it scared me because it caught on fire, and that was back before I understood the carving time or burning time in the Neje software. So I thought 100 was faster, but it turns out 10 is actually faster. That implies 10 milliseconds per pixel. You can kind of think of it that way, 10 milliseconds per pixel. So it's going to spend far less time than if it was 100 milliseconds per pixel. So so again, the very first time I had it dialed way up laser, way up burning time, and it caught fire. So I have been coming back and trying to experiment. Now this this cardboard, I did, it didn't burn. It was nice clean cut, but I had it set for 20% laser, 10 ms for the carving time. But it took 9 times. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to wait around for this thing to take 9 times. So the same thickness of cardboard. These were at 40% laser, and it only took three times. And again, it was very clean cut, no burning, no smoke. So nice, clean cut. And so again, every sheet of cardboard is going to be different. So today I'm going to see if those same settings, so if I can get it in less than 3 passes, that would be awesome. So this is an Amazon box, and so probably pretty typical, a little bit thinner cardboard perhaps, but I'm going to see what I can do with that. And then the other thing that I've done new, again, I still haven't tried air assist. I will do that eventually. I still haven't tried light burn. I do want to try that eventually. But the only other thing I have thought about or tried to work on is I had originally gotten some of these galvanized sheets at Home Depot to protect this table, and it dawned on me, of course, that they are magnetic. So I have been experimenting with trying to raise my items a little bit so they don't burn so badly on the bottom, and I think that has really helped. So I have just a protective sheet of cardboard today, and these magnets work okay, and go through to the galvanized sheet underneath. And then I have some of these really strong, I don't know what they call them, earth magnets or whatever. I have some of these really tiny, very strong magnets that work great to put on top of these, and so I can have a layer sandwiched in between my magnets. So that's what I'm going to try today, and I'll see if I can capture some video of just cutting some more test squares. So thanks. Okay, I may have found some settings that I'm happy with. So I was able to do it in 2 passes. I'm going to run it again here on camera. 2 passes, laser power 50%, burning time 10 ms, and it was able to cut through this one in two passes. And then in just a second I'll show you what else I tried. But 2 passes for that square. It did kind of hold on to one side, but that may just simply be because the cardboard is not perfectly level. So let me hit start, put on my glasses, hit start, and I will show you. It goes real quick. So very little flare up, and looks like a nice clean burn. I did come back and adjust the focus to where it looks better on the surface, and I'll talk to you in just a second once this finishes, and we'll see if it actually did cut through in just 2 passes. And then the nice thing about having this raised, you can kind of lean over and look up under as it's working. And if you see laser light up under the cardboard, then you know it has gone through. So this raised platform really does make a huge difference. And then once I get air assist, that would be awesome if we could get this down to just 1 pass. So let me take a look at the back, see how well that did. Yeah, so again, last time I had one side that didn't cut very well. It looks like this time it did have two sides that didn't cut super well. I think this will poke through, but if you did 3 passes, then you'd have a much cleaner look, I think. And again, this is an Amazon box, so it's a little bit thinner than some of the other cardboard that I've tried. But let me just, oh yeah, that poked through without any problem. It's hanging on one edge, but we can pull that and still have a clean edge. Very little soot, very little smoke. Well, I say that it's going to be a clean edge. I'm going to have to rip it a little bit, but not too bad. Yeah, I can handle that. 2 passes. And that way you won't have to wait forever for your prototype. And use up all this cardboard that we've got. So, all right, so just to talk to you just a little bit about the other things I tried. This, I tried to bump it up to 60% laser, but I started getting a little bit of flare up here. Now this was focused a little bit under. What I did is I took this thin cardboard off and put my black paper and focused on the black paper. That was probably not the best focus, but and so it was probably out of focus, and that's why I got a little bit of flare up there. But that was 60% laser, and I don't know, to me that's just too much soot. It's not clean enough. And that was just 1 pass, and of course it didn't go through at all with just 1 pass at 60%, 10 ms. This was at 50%. Again, kind of playing around with out of focus first, and just 1 pass, nowhere near coming through. So, with multiple passes, that would have been just fine, because the here we did the 50% laser at 10 ms, and it just took 2 passes. It was out of focus. So again, I don't think it looks as clean a cut whenever it was out of focus. So I just came back to focusing on the top layer of this cardboard, and it's probably thin enough, and the laser is powerful enough that it did just fine. So so fantastic. So I need to hurry up and write this down before I forget, but it was 50% laser burning time, and we did it 2 times. Again, using the Neje desktop software. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it helps, and I will do my best to just keep sharing content. But again, check out these Facebook groups down below. They are super helpful. And I'll talk to you later. Thanks so much.